Hi guys, it's Lindsay. I am doing my 8-week update. Officially, I know my due date, so we're going to call this our 8-week update, which is really exciting. I've got so much to talk about for my pregnancy this week. Again, I'm not going to be posting this right away, so when you're watching it, I'm going to be a little bit further along in my pregnancy. Today is Wednesday, April 27th, 2011. If you've watched my last video, you remember that I was sick. What you saw on that video was really just the tip of the iceberg. I was so sick. Like, I was absolutely miserable, like, after that day. Like, it got so much worse. But I didn't take anything except for Tylenol, and that was so hard. I just kept, using that Vicks Vapor Rub and that saline nasal spray that I showed you guys, and they helped, but I wanted like some Sudafed so bad, but I didn't do it. And looking back, I'm so happy that I didn't, because I wasn't sure what was okay and what wasn't okay. So I got through it and everything's fine, so that's great. But one thing that I really did want to take on Saturday night, my nose had cleared up, so I wasn't stuffed anymore, which is nice, but I had like the worst headache that I've had since being pregnant on Saturday night, and I wanted to take Excedrin so bad, because when before I got pregnant, if I had a headache, I would pop an Excedrin or two, and 20 minutes later, I'm fine. So I wanted to do it so bad, so I Googled Excedrin while pregnant, and I was like, if I can find one website that says it's okay, I will do it, just because I was that miserable. Well, I guess unfortunately, I didn't find a single website that said it was okay, so I didn't take any, but I did see that an alternative to doing that was taking Tylenol, which we all know is safe while you're pregnant. So taking that and then having like a Coke or a Mountain Dew, something with caffeine in it. So I don't drink pop. I gave it up last summer, and because I realized I was drinking too much of it, so I just, like, I'm kind of an all or nothing kind of girl. So I either, go full force or something, or I don't do it. And, that's kind of how I was with the pop. And then last week, I told you guys about the red meat, too. I really haven't had that much this week. I did on Easter, I did. But, like I said, all or nothing with the pop. And I was nothing, and I was happy. I wasn't craving it or anything. But because my headache was so bad, I went to Walgreens and I bought a 20-ounce bottle of Coke, and I nursed that for like 3 or 4 hours that night. And it didn't make my headache go completely away, but oh man, it really, really helped. So if you're pregnant and you have a horrible, horrible headache, have a Coke. Or I don't know if you like coffee, that might work too. Just a little caffeine will really help you. So we now have some Coke in our fridge for emergencies only. Hopefully I can kind of contain myself and not drink one all the time. I did go to the doctor, and I'll talk about that more, but I did ask her how much caffeine a day was okay, and she said about a cup or glass, so I would assume that means like 1 can of pop every day is fine. I hope that I don't run into that habit, but we'll see. So and then we ended up telling my dad and his girlfriend and my grandma and my soon-to-be, his fiance, my dad's fiance, not girlfriend, and my soon-to-be stepsister and step-cousin that we were expecting. We told them on Easter, which was really exciting. My dad's fiance called me on like Friday, Thursday or Friday, and invited us over for Easter. And it was funny because I was actually in Babies R Us at the time, just kind of looking around. And I was like, oh yeah, we definitely can go over. I was sick, so I was like, well, hopefully if I'm feeling better, then we can go over. She's like, okay, that's fine, just keep us updated. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're going over. And my family we drink wine and whatever. So I'm like, oh man, I'm going to have to tell them because I know they'll kind of, figure it out. So I kind of did something very similar or we did something similar to what we did with my in-laws, except this time, and I didn't take a picture of it, and I didn't do a video on it, but oh well, it was a really cute card. I made "You're Invited" cards, and it was kind of similar on the front, just very plain, non-baby looking. So it said "You're Invited" on the front, and then on the inside it had like, event, date, time, place, and I just filled that in, baby's birthday, I put like December because I didn't know the exact due date then. Time, I didn't put any, I put like to be determined, and then place, I put the hospital. So that was really cute. And then we got them a onesie and a bib like we did for my in-laws. So we go over there, and, they asked, like, oh, would you like something to drink? We were waiting for my grandma to get there. So we were just kind of, talking and whatever. And I'm like, oh, I'll just have water. That's fine. And then my grandma gets here, and we all decide to sit down and eat. And I brought the little package that we had for them, and I put it under the table. I'm like, okay, I'll bring it out, like, right after we say grace, before everyone starts eating and everything. So we say grace, and as soon as we say grace, my dad goes, Lindsay, would you like some Riesling, which is a wine? And I was like, oh, no, that's, I'm fine with the water that I have. And he's like, well, we bought it just for you. They don't drink that kind, and they know that I like it. So I'm like, oh, the water's fine. Maybe I'll have some later. And but he goes, well, unless you're pregnant. And my husband was sitting right next to me, and I could just tell, we're like, here's like the mashed potatoes or whatever, trying to like, change the subject. So I waited probably like another minute or so, maybe, I don't know, a couple minutes. And I'm like, okay, well, we have something for you guys. So I gave them the package, and, they figured it out, and they were like, wait, you really are pregnant? I'm like, yep. So they were like super, super excited about it, which was really fun. And that's like basically like what we talked about the whole like rest of the night. So it was like really exciting and really fun. So I'm glad they were excited, especially like after my dad kind of like jokingly talked about it. I was nervous as hell as to what he was going to react when he found out that his first grandchild is on the way. And this baby is going to be the first grandchild on either side, and both me and my husband were the same way for either side, which is kind of cool. So let's see what else. I also told my my brother, he lives in Oklahoma, he's in the Army, so I called him. I had like literally, it's like a 3-minute conversation, if that, because he was working. So it's like, guess what, you're gonna be an uncle. Oh, cool, okay, I gotta go. So and then I told my other grandparents that live in Florida, and my aunt and uncle that live there. And then I told one of my girlfriends this afternoon. She actually, she lives far away, but she was up in this area in our neck of the woods, and called and told me that she was going to be around. I'm like, oh, perfect. I want to tell you something. So it worked out really well, and she was really excited for us and everything. So that was fun. And like I said, I went to the doctor on Monday. I started spotting a little bit on Sunday night, and let me tell you, that was the worst feeling of my life. It was just treacherous. So I got no sleep that night, like 2 hours probably. I was up at 7:45 in the morning after having, 2 hours of sleep, and I called the doctor at 8 o'clock on the dot, and I got the answering service. So they'll call us back in like 3 minutes, and they'll be available. So I called them back, and they were fortunately able to get me in. I explained, my situation. I had a little bit of spotting and whatever. So they're like, okay, you can come in. So we went in. My husband went with me, which was nice. We did have to. This appointment was scheduled for 10, but we had to wait till like 10:30 before we got back to see the nurse. So that was like the longest half hour of my life. I was just, I was so nervous and whatever. But I, had to pee in a cup, and they did a pregnancy test, and it was positive right away, which was encouraging, of course. And I told the nurse, because I was so nervous, that my blood pressure was going to be elevated, and I was right. It wasn't like really anything, any cause for concern, but it was slightly elevated. And then I went in back and saw the doctor, and she did, she asked all the questions, medical history and all that stuff, normal. And then she did a pap smear. No, pap smear, sorry. It's a joke from The Office. I told my husband, I was like, bet you never thought you were going to be in the room for a pap smear, did you? He's like, yeah, no. Like, I made him, like, look the other way so he didn't see it. Gross. And then, because I wasn't sure of, like, my exact due date, we got to do an ultrasound, which was amazing. So let me show you the picture. I'm so excited. This is like, just like, I'm kind of like getting teary-eyed just thinking about it because it's so amazing. So here you go. There's the first one. It actually looks like a baby, which is crazy to me. So there's that one. That one's not so great. Sorry, you can like see my head like poking out. I didn't realize. And then here's the last one. Just kind of small, but it looks like the baby's waving at us. It's so cute. So there's only one. I did have last week and the week before, I did have 2 dreams about twins. But that turned out to like not be any kind of premonition or anything because we only got one, which my husband was like so thrilled about, so relieved, because he was just like, don't talk about twins. Don't talk about twins. I don't want twins. I can't handle it. So I don't know. I kind of thought it'd be fun to have twins, but we're getting one, which is great. So I think I said in like my first video that my husband was like pretty convinced that it was a girl. I don't know. After looking at these, and my dad said the same thing after I showed him the pictures, they're pretty convinced it's a boy. So I don't know. I really can't tell either way what it's going to be just by looking at that. But and we did do it vaginally. Or a vaginal ultrasound, which, let me tell you, is uncomfortable. But, of course I would do it again in a heartbeat, so I could see my baby again. But hopefully, going forward, we don't have to do that again. But, she's kind of, like moving it around and jostling everything in there. And when I got home, there was some red blood when I got home. But I didn't, like, honestly, I didn't freak out about it because I figured that it was because of the pap smear that I had, and it was protocol to do like an STD test. So there was a lot of scraping and poking and prodding down there. So, and it's fine now. And they, reassured me too about the spotting that like brown is normal. It's just old blood. And then she also told me that there was a cyst in my uterus or somewhere in that area that they could see on the ultrasound. So I was like, huh? She's like, oh, well, then no, that's normal. You want that. It's keeping you pregnant. Oh, okay. Well, thanks. And then one thing she did mention, which is kind of cause for concern a little bit, she asked me if my eyes have always been this big. Like, I know I have big eyes. It's pretty obvious. And I was like, yeah? Like, I didn't really know how to answer that question because it was just so, like, off the wall. Yeah, I guess my eyes have always been this big. I don't know. I've always been, people have always commented on how big my eyes are. So it's not like they're, they just decided to grow overnight. And then she also asked if I've ever had my thyroid checked. I did in 2008. I had it checked for, like, first for my skin. And that came back, like, negative, so, like, nothing was wrong with it. But she said the reason why she asked those questions was because she thought maybe I have Graves' disease, which is like a genetic kind of disease, and apparently one of the symptoms of having Graves' disease is like big, large, protruding eyes. I'm like, oh, yeah, I've never heard of this before. That's never been brought up in a doctor's appointment or anything. So, but I'm gonna get my thyroid checked again to see if that's something I have to deal with. But like I said, I told one of my girlfriends this afternoon, and she's been to, or she's taken medical courses, and she knew about Graves' disease and has seen pictures of people with it, and she's like, you have big eyes, but I would never, like, look at you and think that you have Graves' disease. So, I don't know. We'll see. Of course, I would rather, check and make sure that nothing's wrong. And if something is wrong, from looking up Graves' disease, it's not curable, but you can treat it with medicine to control your thyroid. So we'll definitely do that. I think we're going to do that at the next appointment. And I want to say my next appointment, I'm going to be checked for quite a few different things, which it's May 23rd. So like 4 weeks. Oh, and I didn't even tell you, I just kind of forgot about it. My due date, based on measuring with the ultrasounds, it came back. She did it 3 times. I don't know. They had to measure it on the screen and whatever. And it came back 2 times. I was 8 weeks and 2 days, and 1 time 8 weeks and 1 day. So based on that, we were going to go with 8 weeks and 2 days. My due date is December 3rd, which is so exciting because that's our first wedding anniversary, and be our wedding anniversary. So it's really exciting to have that as our due date. My husband can't forget it. But also I am kind of hoping that this baby will come early, like in November sometime. I was pretty early, so I'm hoping to kind of continue that tradition. I was supposed to be born in February, and I was January 24th. So at least a week and a half, 2 weeks early I was. So hopefully this baby will be impatient like I am. And then some symptoms that I've had this week. The doctor asked me, she's like, "No, have you been nauseous or anything past weeks since I've been since I was really sick?" Nope. Been feeling great. Been feeling like I was not even pregnant. And of course, as soon as I said that, literally that afternoon, Monday afternoon, oh my gosh, shit hit the fan, and I threw up 4 times on Monday. Oh man, that was rough. And then I threw up once yesterday morning, Tuesday morning, before I had anything to eat. And so just the past couple of days, I've not eaten nearly enough food. I have been just kind of grazing. Nothing sounds good at all. This evening, though, I did manage to eat salad from Wendy's. Though I didn't eat the chicken that comes with it. So it was just a Caesar salad. And so far I've kept it down. I haven't had any problems. So I don't know, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping, but not again, because it's good for the baby if you throw up. That it's kind of over. But we'll see. I am nauseous, but I was using these earlier today. These little sigh bands. And they do help, but they hurt. They hurt your wrists. I don't know if you can see. You probably can't, but I do have marks on my wrist. Oh, you can kind of see there. Yeah, right there. So they're not comfortable to wear. And then loss of appetite for sure. And insomnia crazy. The past couple of days, it's just been awful. Absolutely awful. Like I said, Sunday night into Monday morning, I got no sleep because I was so nervous about getting to the doctor and making sure that everything was okay. And then last night, I went to bed about 1 a.m., which is a little late for me, but I was watching some TV shows that I needed to catch up on. And I did not get to sleep until 5:30, or maybe even a little later, close to 6 o'clock in the morning. It took me 5 hours to fall asleep. Almost 5 hours to fall asleep. Ridiculous. I think at 5 I ended up coming out here to the living room, and I turned on the TV and tried to fall asleep. That's kind of soothing to me, to fall asleep with the TV on. So I slept from probably about 6 a.m. to 11:30, and then I tried to take a nap this afternoon. No, I probably got up actually earlier than 11:30. Probably 10:30. And then I tried to take a nap. I went and laid down at noon and wanted to sleep until about 2:30. And I didn't fall asleep until probably 1:30. So I got an extra hour of sleep. But surprisingly, I'm not that tired right now, which is good. But hopefully I'll be able to fall asleep tonight because I need it. I really, really need it. And then I have one more thing to show you. And this is a long video, so hopefully it will still upload to YouTube. This was in my Easter basket. It's so cute. It's like a little bathrobe for baby. My husband got it for me. It's one size fits most. 0 to 9 months, up to 22 pounds it says. And it's got like cute little like duckies on it. Ducky and a little bear. Super cute. He bought this at Macy's, and it was only $10.98. So really kind of a good deal, and you can use this, you know, for quite a few months. And the brand is First Impressions. So really cute. I didn't pick it out. I don't know what other kind of stuff they had, but I'm sure I will pick myself or find myself over there soon, because this was only like $10. That's a pretty good deal. You know, Macy's is nice. So yeah, I guess that's it for this 8-week update, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.